Hello and welcome back to the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, it's our final episode of the year. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's good to be back here for a nice meaty episode. We had to skip our last Captain's Log recording because my computer died and you had a very bad cough.
I got sick.
Not good for podcasting.
Yeah, I thankfully did not get the worst of it. My partner did. She got a bad sinus infection right after I got sick. We're still. I feel like I'm back to 100%, but she's still maybe at like 85, 90.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we're getting there. But beyond that, yeah, feeling good. Sad we did not get to record 2 weeks ago to do our final regular episode, but we do have a fun one on this show. But before we get to our Rotten Tomatoes movie prediction game, there is one thing that I need to insert in here real quick. Melissa, are you ready for a haunted office story?
Yes, I thought you were going to reveal the Mountain Dew voodoo flavor from this year because I don't think we've covered that yet. That's old business that must be settled before the year is over.
It was so disappointing, Melissa. It was another the answer was pink fruit candy.
Oh my! So just a starburst.
It was supposed to be Starburst, right? They said they were partnering with a top candy maker, and they don't even have the balls to call it Pink Starburst. Just pink fruit candy. What does that even mean?
We're all picturing the pink starburst, but there's no clear what the second is.
I guess they went to Spirit Halloween. They got the knockoff version, right?
It's not like if you were missing out on the Twizzlers sponsorship and you could still say red licorice. And we're like, oh, red licorice, I get that.
Yeah.
The pink Starburst owns the market on pink fruit candy. What's in second place, a jelly bean?
But then you call them jelly beans, right? You don't... So dumb. So dumb. I think I am forever done with Mountain Dew voodoo flavors.
No, we're not.
On the show. I'll still have them, but I won't be like, and I have the new one. What flavor is it gonna be this year?
They gotta start making these weirder. Next year it better be carrot.
Yes,
potato.
I would be so down for it to be some dumb thing like that. Make it a trick or a treat, right? It can be a trick. It can be something that's bad. It's okay.
Make it worse, please. We don't want it to be good anymore.
Anyways, haunted office story. You had shared a haunted office story recently, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I have any of those. And then you were like, I don't think many people, you don't hear about haunted offices as much as you hear about haunted houses or a haunted hotel, right?
Yes.
So
there's no American Horror Story season that is Office.
Right? They should, though. That'd be an interesting one. But a couple weeks ago, I traveled back to Richmond for some work. I was at a little conference, and I had to go back to our main office building for one of those days. Spent most of the day there. So much so that I was one of the last people to leave the building on that day. And since COVID, and they know that people can work from home and all of that stuff, even though we have all 4 or 5 floors of this building, there's almost no one on any of these floors anyways. So it's kind of empty, and the lights are motion sensitive. So the one office that we were in, and that side of the hallway was lit up, but the other half was not. Right. So that's the scene. But then I'm also one of the last people to leave the building, and I call for my Uber, and it's that busy time of night. It's rush hour. Everyone's getting off of work. They can't pick me up for like 25 minutes. But it's pouring rain, so I can't walk. I can't go like take the bus or something like that. So I'm just stuck there, sitting in the lobby of our office, and so I'm sitting on this bench, and to my right is the door, and I'm like watching for the car. Right in front of me, a little bit on the left, is our security desk. There's no one sitting there, and behind that is where the elevators are. And the elevator will ding when it opens up, right? Someone's supposed to walk out, but multiple times it would ding. It like you could hear it like coming from some other floor, would ding and then would open up. And no one would get out, or no one else would be there to get on it. And so it's just like, who hit the button? Like you need a key card to like do the thing to even hit the button to call it. What is happening here? And it did not happen once or twice. It happened like 5 times at random times. Not like, okay, every 5 minutes it's happening. It would just like, something is happening here. I don't know what this is. And again, like I'm sitting there by myself being like, I don't know what this is. I hope my Uber gets here real soon.
So, or else this elevator is going to get me somehow. It's going to come out of its shaft, gobble me up.
Ghosts that are traveling up and down the building, or something that is interesting about our building. So when we first moved into that building, I worked on the basement, and there's these 2 doors that they told us not to go in, not because it was like a closet or something that we weren't allowed in, but it was a walkway underneath the road to another building that used to be like the old newspaper building. I don't know what the purpose of it was or anything like that, but it was just like, hey, yeah, we don't need to go into their stuff. They don't need to come in to ours. So that stuff is just off limits. And yeah, there's just like this weird underground tunnel. There's supposedly some like 1.3 billion, or not billion, $1 million apartment that we can see out of one of the windows that has been empty for like
what
years, because no one wants to buy like $1 million apartment downtown in this stuff. But every once in a while we'll see people in there like cleaning and stuff like that. So there is some like weird things happening in and around that area. But that was it. That's my haunted office experience.
That is very spooky. We had that elevator. I wonder if that's like an elevator maintenance run. Like during off hours, it just does that to keep itself healthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And during my high school graduation lock-in at a local community center, there was an elevator that kept doing that. Just arriving on the floor, unbeckoned, opening the doors.
No one's in there.
Closing the doors, going somewhere else, coming back. And our most impressive boy got on the elevator and waved goodbye. And I did see him later that night at like the hypnotist activity that every project graduation lock-in has. But I did think, what if that is the last time I ever see him? For the rest of we're not close friends. I'm like, what if that is the last time I ever see valedictorian Daniel Torrington?
Is that the guy you made the playlist for?
Yep.
Wow. More Torrington lore on the podcast. Great. Great. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Well, we got a packed episode to get
Yes.
to today, so I say we roll right along to our Rotten Tomatoes movie prediction game that we do every December here. Melissa, I will kind of pass the torch over to you
Thank
if you
you.
want to do some explaining and
Yes.
stuff like that.
For the past several years, every first week of December, we do an episode predicting the Rotten Tomatoes critic score for a number of upcoming movies through the rest of that December and the following year through that first week of December. So for this year, we are going to read the scores that we predicted for The Boy and the Heron through to Wicked Part 1.
Yes.
And then it's whichever one gets closer to the score. Doesn't matter if it's higher or lower, just whichever is closer. You get a point. We do our annual pizza bet. And then we will proceed to guess the scores for 40 more movies across the next calendar year. And we also have bonus predictions like this will get nominated for an Oscar. This is the cameo in this Marvel movie. This movie will score higher than this movie, etc.
Indeed.
It's a lot of numbers, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Indeed. I am going to pull this up on screen so everyone can see our predictions and stuff from last year.
Kyle, I changed the color coding. It was red and yellow, which felt arbitrary. I've now made you your signature purple.
Perfect.
And I have selected Gremlin Green as my color.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay.
If you will do all the looking up, I will do all the scorekeeping here on our sheet.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with The Boy and the Heron. I can get rid of that tab. I don't need that anymore. Let's go over here to Rotten Tomatoes, The Boy and the
new
Heron.
Hayao Miyazaki film, which did go on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
There we go.
You guessed 89 and I guessed 93.
Tomato meter says 96.
Okay. All right. Point to me.
Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's look back over here. Point to Melissa. Next up, Leave the World Behind.
You guessed 86. I guessed 84.
And the tomato meter says 74.
Okay,
Ooh,
another point to
Popcorn
me.
was 36 on that one. People didn't like that one. I thought it was fine. I liked it.
It's from Sam Esmail, the creator of Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot really works on the both of us. I figured we'd like this. Yeah.
That's it's an interesting one though when you see one that just like everyday audiences don't enjoy, but all the critics are like, yo, this one is actually not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the other way around.
Next is Poor Things. You guessed 75. I guessed 91.
Melissa, you won that one. Point to Melissa. Let's see here. Poor Things. That movie was so good. Tomato meter says 93.
93. Another point in my column. That also took him several Oscars.
Yeah. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Next, Wonka. You guessed 84. I guessed 86 for Wonka.
Let's see what we got here. Tomato says 82.
82. All right, that one goes to you.
Nice. What is next up here? Aquaman.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. You guessed 67. I guessed 59.
And tomato meter says 33.
Boy. All right, that's a point to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Sorry it had to be this way, Aquaman.
Knew that one wasn't going to be great, but didn't know it was going to be that bad.
Next is Rebel Moon Part 1. Whatever the title of Rebel Moon Part 1 was. Did you ever see this?
I watched the first one. I stopped after that. It was atrocious. Rebel Moon part
you
1.
guessed 83. I guessed 70.
Tomato meter 22.
Oh my goodness. That's maybe the lowest score we've had to date. Let's see.
With the popcorn meter only being 56.
What is our lowest score to date? Morbius got 15.
Ooh, okay. Rebel Moon. Yeah, it was not good at all. It was a mess. It was a mess.
Wow, I don't know if we have anything else that's like sub 30
or
even sub 40. Let me see. Yeah, Morbius at 15, Moonfall at 36.
Okay.
Uncharted 41, Black Adam 39. Yeah, second lowest to date.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, next up, the Iron Claw.
You guessed 76, I guessed 89.
Iron Claw. Let's see what it got here. 89 on the tomato meter.
Oh, perfect. Spot on.
Nice, yeah.
I loved the Iron Claw. Next is Michael Mann's Ferrari. You guessed 88 and I guessed 81. I saw the Iron Claw and Ferrari back to back. That's how I spent last New Year's Eve.
Nice. Tomato meter says 72 with a popcorn of 73. That one's neck and neck.
Agreeable. That's nice. Right. I've got a strong lead somehow. How did last year go? I think you won last year.
If I did, it was probably close. I don't remember the end.
No, you had a very considerate lead on me last year.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
Next, Jason Statham in The Beekeeper. You guessed 53 and I guessed 44.
Let's see what it says. Tomato meter 71.
Wow! Way to go, Statham.
Now, did you end up going to see that one?
I watched it with my dad at home. The way to see The Beekeeper.
Sure, yeah. I did
Decent
not go
dumb
to
fun.
see that one, but it has a 92 on the popcorn one. So
people had fun with it.
People really enjoyed it, yeah. We love a good Jason Statham action flick, you know?
We love bees. Next is Argyle. You guessed 72. I guessed 69. I imagine the score is lower than both of those.
I'm going to say, how do you spell Argyle? But I think I got it. I was going to pull it up here. Argyle tomato meter says 33%.
Wow.
With a popcorn of 71. Another big discrepancy there.
It's not a movie that's very good, but then I heard people complaining about it in the subsequent weeks, and then I'm like, well, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Sam Rockwell's very charming in it.
Did not go see that one last year.
Next is Lisa Frankenstein. We both did see this one.
Yes.
You said 76 and I said 80.
Okay, tomato meter says 52.
Huh.
I did not think it was that bad.
That's a middling. We rarely see things right there smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Boy, next is Madam Web, where you said 41 and I said 45. What is our result for Madam Web?
Madam Web. What do you think is going to get the lowest score
between
this and
Madam Web and Rebel Moon, or Madam Web and Morbius?
Oh, I'm spelling Madam wrong. There we go. Madam Web. Pulling this up. Oh. Tomato meter is 11.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Wowzers.
And yes, I would agree with that.
11.
It was bad. It was bafflingly bad. Wow. It got a 56 on the popcorn score, which is still not great, but yeah,
right.
Man. 11. That is something else. Oh my God.
It's truly rare. Like, already in this game, we have had 2 scores above 90. And we frequently had scores in the 90s. It almost seems easier for a movie to be very, very good than it is for a movie to be Madam Web. Madam Web is truly a rare occurrence.
Yeah, it really is. Go check it out for yourselves.
Let this bring hope to you. It is easier to get a boy and a heron. It is more common to get a boy and a heron than a Madam Web in your film going experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next is Drive Away Dolls. You guessed 88 and I guessed 78.
Oops. Drive Away Dolls. Tomato meter says 63.
63.
Man, popcorn is down at 36.
What did you guys think you were in for?
Do not agree with them.
Next is a juggernaut of the year, Dune Part 2. You guessed 93 and I guessed 91.
I think it's going to be higher than both of ours. Oh,
I think so.
Here we go. 92.
Oh, 92.
Is the tomato meter.
This is a tie. Neither of us get a point. I'll make it gray.
Do we each get one? I mean, it really doesn't matter either way since it cancels out, right?
Okay. It's null.
Dune Part 2. What a great one. That was awesome.
I'll keep it at white. I grayed out, just to mention them, the movies that got moved off the calendar this year.
Sure.
So we did make predictions about Mickey 17, Ballerina, and Kraven the Hunter. All of which have been punted. Kraven the Hunter's coming out like in a couple weeks, but it just missed the cutoff for this game. Mickey 17 and Ballerina are next spring.
Cool.
Next is Kung Fu Panda 4. You guessed 86 and I guessed 79.
Oh, that's King. I need Kung Fu Panda 4. There we go. Jack Black, Aquafina, Viola Davis. It is a 71.
Huh. Good for Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah.
Next is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. You said 74 and I said 67.
Tomato meter is, a 42.
Huh.
It was not that bad.
No.
I agree more with the popcorn score of 82 on that one. It was good.
Skipping over Mickey 17, we have Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. You said 73 and I said 54. This is one of our biggest discrepancies between our two predictions.
Yeah. This one might go to you. It was a 54.
Oh my God. I've had 2 of these right on the money.
Popcorn score, however, was a 90. It's way up there.
I didn't get out to see this one. Did you?
Yes. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
Nice. Next, we made predictions on both parts of Rebel Moon, which was a first for us, having to blindly guess the score for a sequel to a first movie that had not come out yet.
Sure.
An experiment perhaps we will never see again.
It's, I guess, less a sequel, more so just like a part, like
part two.
Part 2, continuation.
Right. Only Zack Snyder and Kevin Costner brave enough to attempt it. And we didn't get Horizon Part 2 this year. So Snyder is the only one to get both of his parts across the finish line.
Right.
So you got to hand it to the man for that. He said what he was going to do and then it happened. You guessed 79 and I guessed 70.
Oof.
Did the Scargiver fare better than A Child of Fire?
Let's see here. Tomato meter says 16.
Oh, ooh.
Got some bad movies this year.
I heard very little about these movies. I heard that they were bad, but it's one of those times when everyone just keeps shouting adjectives and none of them tell you what the movie's specific issues are. Like,
I mean,
what is it?
all
Pacing? Characterization? What?
Kind of all of it. It's just a mess. The story was just lackluster. It was all over the place. It didn't really feel like it knew what it wanted to be. The characters were either paper thin or were acting like they were in a completely different movie. It was, the whole thing was just bonkers. The visual effects, like the CGI and stuff, I'm sure like looked totally fine, acceptable, but it was just almost a distraction because there was so much of it on screen. Like, you know how stylized Zack Snyder likes to make his stuff.
Yes.
It was just distracting.
Interesting.
The whole thing was just, it was like, how did he get millions and millions to make this?
And from what I've seen of him, even if you don't like his vision, he typically has a vision. He has a thing he wants to do. You know, you might not like his DC movies, but they're generally cohesive.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah, this
Let's
was a
change
huge
gears.
flop.
Well, let's talk about a big success. Let's talk about Luca Guadagnino's Challengers. You guessed 79 and I guessed 90 for this horny tennis movie.
Challengers got an 88 on the tomato meter.
Okay. Another point to me. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. I bought the t-shirt and everything. Really love Challengers.
I still have not seen this one.
You should watch it. Oh, what a great date night movie is Challengers. Have fun with it.
Yeah, I have always heard good things, so I'm excited to get to it. I just have not yet.
Next is The Fall Guy. You guessed 73 and I guessed 85.
I think this will go to you. Fall Guy was real good. Yep, this is an 81 on the tomato meter.
Oh, nice. Good for The Fall Guy. That was a very good time.
I enjoyed this one a lot. I think a lot of people wrote it off.
Yeah, it did not do as well in theaters as you would have thought. And I actually saw it twice in theaters. I saw it once on my own, and then I had a friend who just needed a night out. She needed a fun thing to do. And I'm like, I think The Fall Guy is going to solve your problems. It's the boost you need right now.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Next is If, John Krasinski's film about imaginary friends. You guessed 78 and I guess 73.
I feel like I was about to say, I feel like it's going to be higher. It got a 50 on the tomato meter.
Wow. Our most median film. I don't think we've ever gotten a direct 50 before.
Yeah.
It's the most average film. It is dictionary film. Room temperature film.
I really do not agree with that. I am more aligned with the popcorn meter at an 86. That was a good one.
For reference, last year, Shazam! Fury of the Gods was 49. Super Mario Brothers was 59. Fast X 56. We've had a few things. Napoleon was 59. We've had a few things in that range. No, it is our first absolute 50. Wow. Good to have a barometer there.
Interesting.
Next is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. You guessed 91. I guessed 92.
This is also one I have not seen yet. This got a 90 on the tomato meter.
All right, point to you.
With an audience score of 89. Everyone was right there. Yeah.
Everybody's predictions were nearly correct. Incredible. Then we are skipping over Ballerina. We were going on to The Watchers. This horror movie was the feature directorial debut of Ishana Night Shyamalan. We put this on the list because I'm a big Shyamalan head. And Ishana directed several episodes of the TV show Servant. And I thought she showed a lot of promise.
Okay.
You predicted 70. I predicted 80.
And the tomato meter was 32.
Oh. That's a shame.
Did not like this one. Popcorn score was a 50.
I think the movie had script problems, and from what I heard, the issue comes from it being an adaptation of a novel that sticks way too closely to the novel, when maybe some changes would have been needed. And I can imagine if you come from the family that helped produce the last Airbender movie, that is a lesson you've learned, is to make very loyal adaptations to things. But in this case, it seems like it did not pay off.
Yeah.
I think it was directed well. I still think she's got great promise. Look forward to seeing what Ishana does next.
Okay. Interesting.
Next is Inside Out 2. You guessed 85. I guessed 88.
Ooh, I feel like we were low on that one.
We'll see.
Let's see what it got. 91 on the tomato meter.
91. All right. That broke box office records this year.
Yeah,
it was far and away
absolutely.
the most successful film of the year, but I think critically it was slightly more tepid than the box office was. Good for Inside Out too. A success we needed. A Quiet Place Day 1. You guessed 64, I guessed 76.
Quiet Place Day 1. It got an 87 on the tomato meter.
87, nice. I really liked that one.
There you go.
Next, Despicable Me 4. You guessed 60, I guessed 67.
And it got a 56 on the tomato meter. Audiences seem to really like that one, though. They have an 87 for the popcorn.
They always do.
Yep.
My parents went to go see this for their anniversary.
Aw.
They have not been to a movie in years, and Despicable Me 4 was the one that got them back out in that AMC.
There you go. Have they seen Despicable Me 3 and 2?
I presume they've seen all of them. You know,
Okay.
it's very cute that my parents never lost a fondness for animated family films.
Yeah.
Even far past the point where they needed to still keep up with them because they had small children.
They're just good. They're wholesome. You know?
I love a grandpa who never lost interest in a cartoon musical film.
Yeah.
My dad loves Sing 1. He was disappointed in Sing 2 compared to Sing 1, but he still owns both of them on Blu-ray.
I see.
Next is Twisters. You guessed 86. I guessed 87.
Let's see what it got. It got a 75 on the tomato meter,
all right,
with a
point to
90 on popcorn.
I had a good time with Twisters.
Not super close, but yeah, that was a great one. Filmed not very far from where I live right now, so
yeah,
exciting.
Your Oklahoma pride dictated you must go see it. Next is Deadpool 3. You guessed 88 and I guessed 84. Oh, it says Deadpool 3. This is before it was officially titled Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
We didn't know that until Super Bowl. That's right.
Oh wow, got a 78
all right,
on the
point
tomato
to me.
meter. I feel like that's about correct.
Sure.
But then also the fan in me is also like, but it is also the 94 for the popcorn score that I got, right?
Yeah.
Like it's equally both of them.
Yeah. Next was M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. You guessed 80. I guessed 75. I had a terrific time with Trap, but I know it didn't work on everyone so well.
To you, I think it got lower, and it did. It got a 57 Yeah, Josh Hartnett was great in that one.
Terrific.
Yeah. He needs to be in more stuff, and I felt like he worked really well with M. Night Shyamalan. I would like to see him in another M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
Something.
Bring him back, absolutely. Next is Borderlands. You guess 69 and I guess 67. Do you think this one is going to score in the Madam? Do you think this might be our new lowest? Is it?
It's a 10. It's
10.
A 10.
Wow. I did go
Wow.
see this one. I did go see this one because the marketing was so baffling to me. And I thought, well, if I'm confused, the only way to become less confused is to see it. I've never
did not help.
I've never had less feelings watching a movie. I wasn't upset. I was just null.
Emotionless.
I was none. Right. Nice production design, though. I have no context for the video games, but I was like, I bet these costumes are pretty good. Sets, interesting. Oh,
wow.
It's got something. Next is Beetlejuice on our sheet with the loving nickname of Beetlejuice. You guess 69, and I guess 72.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 76.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Not
good.
bad.
Oh, boy. Next, Joker, Folie à Deux. You guessed 78, and I guessed 81. What a roller coaster this was. I haven't seen it. I've still seen neither film, but I've never experienced a sharper drop-off in the anticipation for a film versus the final result.
Yeah, very interested to see what comes up here when I click it. A 32. Oh, and an
32.
exact 32 on the popcorn one as well.
Huh.
Even. I don't think we've ever had that.
No. That's puzzling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad all around. Interesting.
But equally bad. I don't know what number I was expecting would be higher, but I was not expecting they would be the same.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Next is the horror movie Smile 2. You guessed a 76 and I guessed a 70. I know you're not a horror person, but I loved Smile 2. And since it's about a haunted pop star, I think it would really appeal to your love of Perfect Blue.
Okay.
If you're feeling brave, check it out.
This got an 86.
Terrific. Point to you. Next, Venom 3. Again, before it was officially subtitled The Last Dance. You guessed 46 and I guessed 48.
Let's see what Venom 2 got. Oh, 41.
Huh. All right.
People seem
Another
to like it,
Kyle,
though.
you're catching up.
It got an 81 on the popcorn one, so.
It's got some fun stuff in it. We never talked about this. I think we got distracted with something else. We never talked about Venom: The Last Dance.
I haven't seen it yet. I never got to go out and check it out.
I saw it on a night, like I had slept very badly the night before and I was kind of out of it and distracted. So I know I was not in the optimal mindset to watch a Venom. Rhys Ifans is in it, which is really weird considering that he's played another Spider-Man villain in another continuity. And they're not commenting on it. It's not like casting Evan Peters in WandaVision. It's just Rhys Ifans again. He's good in it, but it's uncanny.
Weird. That's a
Next,
weird move for sure.
Gladiator 2. It's Denzel this time. A year ago, I was under the impression that Denzel was the titular gladiator. He was not. It's Paul Mescal. You guessed 79 and I guessed 84.
Okay, I have not seen this one yet, but I rewatched the first one so that I could prepare myself to go see this second one. Let's see what it got. It got a 72.
72. Okay, point to you. You're catching up.
I'm getting there. I think you still have me, but
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You ever start counting out loud and then you realize I can't stop halfway through? I just have to finish counting out loud now that I've made the commitment.
I mean, you can kind of slowly go downhill and do
Like, I'd rather just do one. I'd rather count at the same volume the whole time. I have one. I have one already, but you've finished strong here. Let's see who finishes stronger. Our final movie is Wicked Part 1. You guessed 83 and I guessed 87.
I think this is going to go to you. Yeah, this is an 89.
Okay.
Wicked was fantastic.
You, out of our little movie fantasy league, you are the only one who drafted Wicked, and that alone might win you the game, Kyle.
Yeah.
I have one base.
Not looked at any of that stuff since I picked it, so I have no idea what's been happening with all of that stuff yet.
You drafted Wicked Part 1 and Gladiator 2. And those are heavy hitters. You drafted Sonic. Sonic's going to give you a lot of box office. Like, you might do very well in this.
We shall see.
I have one for just pure scores, but let's take a look at our other bonus predictions.
Before we do that, can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
In your movie going experience, did you ever encounter the Lego version of the Wicked trailer?
I did not see it in theaters, but I think I knew it existed.
So we had seen the regular live action version of the trailer for Wicked multiple times as we went out to go watch movies. When I went to go see Piece by Piece, the Lego one, they played the Lego version of the Wicked trailer.
I like that.
For no apparent reason other than I guess they have some deal with Lego to do a bunch of Wicked Lego sets and stuff like that. So they played that one. No comment was made. It was just here you go. The next trailer. And if someone didn't know, I wonder if they would be why is this live action? I thought this was in Lego. So Oh well.
Your predictions, you said one of our favorite movies of the year is not in our initial predictions group, which is true for me. My favorite movie this year was Thelma, a movie not on our radar at all a year ago, but an absolute gem. What has been your favorite movie of the year so far?
Let me look up to see when this one came out. To see, damn it. I don't think it will count for this. My favorite movie I've seen this year so far has been Perfect Days. I loved that one every time I mention it. But it came out in 2023.
It had its festival run in 2023. There's many movies that count for 2023 awards wise, but don't get released to our specific smaller markets until 2024.
I wonder if I could see on my Regal app when I watched this. Purchases. Can I scroll back? No, it won't. It won't let me. Okay. Because, it was either super late last year that I saw it or super early January that I saw it.
I'd give it to you. You saw it as early as you could have,
Right. Yeah. Let me just double check here. I mean, I could also... Oh, actually, maybe maybe it would fit in because I'm looking at all the movies I watched in 2024, and Perfect Day is not one of the first things. I have a handful of stuff that I watched before, including Poor Things, Society of the Snow, which was not on our list, which was also fantastic.
No. Yeah.
Right. So I think I might get that one too.
Yeah. It's fun when that happens. We every year we play this game, we try and be better about seeking out small films. But there's still always stuff that surprises you or just cannot possibly be on your radar the first week of December because it doesn't premiere anywhere until like Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival in the spring or something like that. You guessed that the combined score of Ishana and M. Night Shyamalan would beat Sony's Marvel's combined score.
Yeah.
When you said that, we were still under the impression that Kraven the Hunter was going to come out as part of this game.
Oh, you're right.
Regardless,
I was about to add them up.
Trap and the Watchers surely have beaten Madam Web. And it's Madam Web and Venom. You forget Venom's in there too. Hold on.
So 11 plus what was Venom?
41.
41, 51. The Shyamalans won.
Okay, good for you. Good for Shyamalans.
They got an 89. Their combined score was an 89.
Not bad. You guessed that Chris Evans as Johnny Storm in Deadpool 3. You got that right.
Mm-hmm.
You guessed that Beetlejuice 2 would have an end credits sequence that hinted at a third movie. We didn't specifically get that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The movie ends with like the terrifying vision of what if Jenna Ortega had a Beetlejuice baby, but it's not a post-credit scene and it's not that specific of a sequel hook.
Right. I would say no to that one.
Okay.
Because we also, even still, we don't have a confirmation of, we're making Beetlejuice 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah, we still don't. And then you guessed Mickey 17 would be nominated for Best Picture. We will not know this until 2026.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Every year I predict a needle drop of the year. A song that I hope will be in at least one movie. This year, my prediction was Cold as Ice by Foreigner, I think. I did not hear it. I did not see every film, of course, but I've not heard that it's in anything. I guessed multiple acting nominations at the Oscars for Poor Things. Emma Stone won, and Mark Ruffalo was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
I guessed that Argyle is a woman, and I'll tell you that's correct.
There you go.
I would tell you more if you don't want to know more, but do you care? Do you care about the identity of Agent Argyle at all?
No, not at all.
It is what you think watching the trailer. It's just Bryce Dallas Howard. It's just her.
There you go. She was a spy the whole time.
She was a spy the whole time. I guess that Deadpool 3's cameo would be Channing Tatum as Gambit. That's also true. Both of our guesses for Deadpool and Wolverine were correct.
Great.
And perhaps my greatest folly, I guessed that both of Kevin Costner's Horizon, an American Saga movies would be in the top 10 box office for the summer. Only number 1 came out. It was not in the top 10.
Yep.
I forget where it ranked, but it did subpar enough that they have saved part 2. And I have no idea when we're ever going to see part 2 or if he's going to get to make parts 3 and 4.
Who knows?
Yeah. We had an equal number of bonus predictions that were correct, but I took the scores.
Nice.
A fun game. Now, let's go back and look at this. So let's count up the above 90s versus the sub 30s.
Yeah, I think this year ended up being a really interesting one with the amount of really low scores that
wild swings.
Yeah. Usually it is a little bit more average, a little bit more even.
So this year we have 4 movies that scored at 90 or above and 4 movies that scored below 30.
Wow.
So and our first ever even 50. This year was really all over the place.
I think the first time where the tomato meter and the audience popcorn score is the exact same.
Yes, a historical year. I think we all have weird energy coming off of the strikes from last year. And perhaps 2025 it'll feel more settled.
Yeah, indeed. Hopefully. Interesting. What an interesting year for sure. Okay, well, congratulations, Melissa.
Thank you.
Won that one. I know sometimes we play for bragging rights / pizza at our end of the year Grand Prix. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. But yeah, you won. Congratulations. A round of applause to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Do you want to take a housekeeping break before we go on to our predictions for next year's films?
Exactly. We will be right back. We're going to do some housekeeping. And then when we come back, we will start making our predictions for this next year's movies. So we will be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support.
I always state the pizza bet as an establishment of the highest the stakes could possibly go, which is like $10 or $12.
Patreon
but you're never obligated to send me $10 or $12.
Sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It means a ton. Over on the Pilots Club, Melissa and I just, before we recorded an episode on Look Well. This is a pilot episode from 1991 starring Adam West, written by Conan O'Brien. He's one of the co-writers on that, but Adam West plays a washed-up actor who, at one point in his career, was a detective. He played a detective on a show, and so now he assumes that he can solve crimes, but he assumes wrong. He is not good at solving crimes, and he's just kind of bumbles his way forward into thinking he solved it, but he really wasn't the one that did. For a show that did not get made, this one was hilarious. This one was a blast to watch. You guys can find it on YouTube. Please go check it out. Go watch Look Well. And then over on the free version of the Pilots Club, we are just about to release our episode on Smash, the drama comedy series about producing Broadway shows. They were making a show on God, why am I blanking on her name?
Marilyn Monroe. The fake Broadway play within the show Smash is about the life of Marilyn Monroe.
I was going to say Lucy O'Ball, but I knew that was wrong. And so I was like, that's not, no, that's not her.
Run through the library of iconic actresses. It's them and Judy Garland, and then your brain just spins trying to find a fourth.
Yeah. So that is out on the free version of the Pilots Club. So please go check that out as well. Let's see, right here on the Captain's Log, we did not get to make an episode 2 weeks ago, so you'll have to go check out the one from a month ago, which we got to talk about some of the movies that we had seen recently. And Melissa, you brought a solved internet mystery. The most mystifying, you cannot figure out what this song was, and the internet finally figured it out.
It is officially titled The Most Mysterious Song on the Internet, or at least it was, until we found out the name and artist behind that song.
Yeah, so go check out that episode of the Captain's
I say we
Log.
like I did anything. I just watched other people recap the research they've done.
Calm down.
Right. I'm a look well, but for lost media.
Yeah. Over on the review show, we did what I think was maybe one of our better episodes. We covered Severance Season 1. I really enjoyed our discussion on that one. Of course, Severance Season 2 is coming out mid-January, so be on the lookout for that. And if you need a little spoiler cast for Season 1, go check out our podcast on that. And then last but not least, we still have our Reactor Core episode up of the Penguin. So if you want a spoiler cast for that, go check that out as well. Indeed. But that is about it for housekeeping for right now. So let's get back over here to these movie predictions. Let me bring this back up on screen.
We have approximately 40 movies. We may add to this. We may do a mid-year check-in next spring or summer to add newly released or titled or dated features.
Yeah.
But for now, we have 40 movies ranging between December 13th's Kraven the Hunter and next December the 5th's Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yeah.
We do first week of December to first week of December based on the Sundays when we know we will be recording. Now, this is the third time we will be guessing scores for Kraven the Hunter because it is moved across the calendar enough times, and we schedule this game in such a way it is the third and final time we will have to predict Kraven T. Hunter.
Oh my God.
Now, I'll look back. Our initial guesses for 2023, you guessed 42 and I guessed 33. Last year, you held to your guess of 42, and I downgraded to 28. How are you guessing now? Have you lost faith in the movie? Do you think maybe these delays have been part of Sony saying, we're really in trouble? How can we patch this up? We're really putting our nose to the grindstone here. What's the best we can possibly do with Kraven the Hunter? Can we improve on our failings of Madam Web and Morbius?
What's really interesting is that has been kind of, I don't want to say it's officially part of the marketing, but recent interviews as this is about to come out in like a week or so now, that has kind of been the sentiment of like, look, we know the other movies have been really bad. Give ours a chance. We think there's something here, right? So but like that is not any indication of how good it actually is per se, but they think it's a step in the right direction at least. But yeah, it has been delayed for so long for a myriad of reasons. That could be it was really bad. They did reshoots. They did. Right. I don't know. I did not keep up on all of that stuff. So I don't know, man. Can I downgrade mine to a 38? Okay. I still want that, like, that area, that range.
Yes. You can say 38. I am saying 25, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Let's see, 38. because I don't think it's gonna be great. I oddly don't think it'll be as bad as some of the other ones, but I still don't
Right.
think it'll be good, right?
It at least looks more cohesive and straightforward than a Madam Web or a Morbius.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Next up.
Next, The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, an animated film from a Japanese anime director. A truly unique feature in our landscape. You aren't a Lord of the Rings guy, but do you think you'll go see this?
Maybe not in theaters, but I will check it out. I like that it's like we're getting a Lord of the Rings anime. That's just not,
Yeah.
it's like, huh? What? I know it is. I don't know if it's a co-production or something like that. I know Jason DeMarco, the guy that is like the creative director or whoever at Adult Swim, did a bunch of stuff for Toonami and all that stuff. He's had a hand in getting this made, and I like him. I tend to like a lot of the same stuff that he likes. But also he was also behind the Uzumaki anime adaptation that did not go over so well.
I think
besides that first episode,
I think doing a TV show and doing a theatrically released movie that has had quite a lead up for a long time. This is being promoted pretty thoroughly. I've seen this trailer like 10 times. Of course, we're weird case studies because both of us go to a lot of movies, and I've found that we will see a trailer 10 times and think, well, this is one of the biggest movies of the year. And we talk to another average Joe who's never heard of it.
Yeah. That was the case with something recently. We were at a movie and a trailer for something came on. It's like, I have seen this trailer 6 million times over the last like year. And it was a very obvious that it's like, oh, this is your first time seeing that trailer. This is wild.
I think this will be good, but it is such an odd mix of things. I can't imagine there will be critics who come to it and just aren't sure how it fits into them. It doesn't appeal to them. Like it'll something will be missing. I'm going to say a mild 76.
Oh, okay. I was going to go 72.
Okay. Next is Mufasa, the Lion King. This is a prequel to the photorealistic Lion King from a handful of years ago. And it's directed by Barry Jenkins, quite a well-respected filmmaker who seems like he did come to this with a specific vision and a story he really wanted to tell about the relationship between young Mufasa and Scar. And the fact that he seems to be approaching it so sincerely does give me some hope.
I also find it really interesting that there is a white lion in this movie, considering the history with Lion King and Kimbra, the white lion, and the kind of not bad blood, but that like odd history there, right? Just like, okay, sure. I don't know how this one will do, though.
No.
Because like on one hand, I could say it's probably going to do pretty good. I feel like the other one did pretty well. I don't know the score, but it is also one of those odd, like it's a prequel to a thing. Do we really need this? I don't know if critics are going to...
let me see. Get out of there. The 2019 Donald Glover Lion King had a 51 critics, 88 audience. Okay. And I imagine this will do better than that.
Interesting. I think I will say better, but I'll keep it on low end. I'm going to go 61.
I'm going to go 72. All right.
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah.
Did you see Sonic 2?
I've not
What
seen
happens in
any of
Sonic
them yet.
2?
I know
Oh, I saw the
people love these ones, though.
First one's fun enough. All right. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 had a 69 critics, 96 audience. Wow.
People love it. Yeah, they love it.
Oh, goodness. All right, then. Gee.
I'm gonna go for 75. That sounds about right.
I'll be slightly warmer at a slightly more room temperature at a 68. I know very little about Sonic, and it's not something where I'm able to gauge the amount of juice that is left in the tank for a third of these.
Everyone thought these were going to be bad because, like, if you remember when they first released the images of Sonic, everyone was like, no, this is not Sonic, and they had to fix it. They had to, like, change his look for the entirety of the film.
Change his teeth.
Yeah. And then it came out and did surprisingly well. People really enjoyed them. So we'll see.
Good. I'm happy it's a success story.
Nosferatu is next.
Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. I've been hearing very good buzz about this. So the
trailer looked great.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a 91.
Okay. I'm going to go a little lower than that. I'm going to do an 86.
Have you been seeing many trailers for Wolfman, going from vampires to werewolves here?
I've seen a couple of them, yeah. This one was less my vibe. I mean, I probably won't go see Nosferatu either, just because I'm a big horror baby, but we'll see. We'll see.
He's not coming for you. He doesn't want Kyle's.
No, but I'm a little baby.
It seems like a great art kid movie. So on that front,
sure.
You may enjoy Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Wolfman, I've not been so thrilled about. I saw one trailer that revealed that this family was on a trip and they get into an accident and they have to just take shelter in some abandoned cabin. And the fact that they're already in dire straits and then the dad turns into a werewolf is intriguing to me.
Yeah.
But every time there's a kid, I'm like, you're playing this on easy mode. Of course I'm scared if there's a kid there. Don't you want to try something harder?
Yeah, this felt more like a typical horror movie to me.
But it's from the director. It's from the director of The Invisible Man, and that I think was pretty well received.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go 63 on this one.
Okay. Do I think this could be this year's If, our most average film? That's something we're gonna do now. We've guessed best and worst. Now we're gonna start guessing most average, the meanest film of the year.
Right. Mean as an average.
Yes.
Not just
yes.
gee, Mr. Wolfman, you're real mean.
I'll go with a 49 for now. I will see if there's something I want to mark as an even 50.
Interesting.
Companion. We got a bunch of horrors in a row here. Have you seen the trailer for Companion?
I don't think so. I
Puzzling.
am not familiar with this one.
Oh, it's a trailer that's all vibes. So it's hard for me to describe to you.
Okay.
There's no dialogue in it. Pull up the trailer and watch it on mute while we're talking.
Let's see here.
Companion stars Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. It is from some of the team that did Barbarian. It looks like it is a twist on a romantic film. A romance gone wrong.
Okay.
Looks pretty good. But we know very little about it.
Interesting. So I have not seen the trailer for this yet. I'm kind of watching it on my own here right now, but did see something that someone posted about it, or like some interview or something, that like Jack Quaid was in this. This looks like a new kind of romance, is how they described it. Um, Beyond that, I don't know.
I'm putting it at 80.
Okay. I am going to. Trailer's interesting. Oh, someone just got stabbed. Someone got their hands in a car door. That hurts. I've had that happen. Yeah, that's interesting. That's intense. So you went with an 80, right? That's what you said?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with 71.
Okay. Next, in our run of romantic Valentine's-y movies, there's one called Love Hurts. This is an action comedy starring Ki Kwan, where he plays, I think, a secret agent that like either literally forgot or is trying to forget his past, and he's just like a real estate agent, and then he gets roped back into the game again, and like he reconnects with a past love. It's from the team who did Nobody, the Bob Odenkirk movie. So this is another.
Okay.
I was going to say another unexpected star action movie, but this is one of the best martial artists in the game, and he won an Oscar, so it's not that unexpected.
Oh man, I feel like this one's gonna be pretty good, but not great. I think people have such a love for. I never know how to say his name.
Ki Kwan.
Kwan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I everything I've seen him in, he's just a delight. He's so much fun. So I think this will be received pretty well. But I'm gonna go with a 76 on.
I went with
score.
a romantic 69.
Nice.
We'll see.
How romantic.
Next, the top date night movie of the year, Paddington in Peru.
Oh, I will be there. So here's the interesting thing with this. This is releasing earlier in the UK.
Yeah.
And
they get to see it first. They invented Paddington. It's their right.
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah, right. We get Captain America. They get Paddington. Right?
These are our heroes. They're going to put Paddington on money.
But it's interesting because it will have like a first wave of critics scores and then a second wave after that. And I think it's out in December, like late December for them.
That would make sense.
So yeah,
that is quite a big discrepancy, though. I don't remember this director's name, but it is a different director than Paul King, director of the first two movies, because he went and made Wonka instead.
Right.
Wonka, which, to remind us, netted an 82.
I think this is still going to be delightful. I'm going to absolutely love it. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna cry. It's just going to be a delightful, heartwarming film. I think it's only going to get an 89.
Oh, I said 90. I think it's going to do very well, but less than the first two. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. They look forward to it. When do we get a meteor trailer for Paddington in Peru? We've only seen his hijinks with the photo booth. What will he do next? Where's the rest of his family?
I've seen a little
it's out there.
Trailer. Yeah, it's out there. It's out there. But moving from their hero to ours, Captain America.
Brave New World. Red Hulk for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Oh man, this is right up my alley.
I think this looks pretty good. I've liked the looks of these trailers so far.
Real damn good. I'm you know what? I'm going to give this an 89 as well. Why not?
Okay. Equal films.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 83. Now
I
it's time for me to Are you ready for me to tell?
Yes.
What do you? Time for monkey? Okay.
Time for the monkey.
I've seen this trailer. So there's an initial very short teaser and now a more substantial trailer. I've seen both several times. I was surprised you had not seen either. The Monkey is a new movie from Osgood Perkins, director of Longlegs. It is based on a short story by Stephen King. In the short story, there's one of those.
I have seen this trailer once. Yeah, the
Yes.
clapping monkey. Yes,
It's a little symbol monkey that when you awaken it, it just causes death. Terrible, Final Destination-esque freak accident deaths. Indiscriminately, good and bad. People who deserve it and people who don't. Just freak deaths all over the place.
I mean, you know how the saying goes, monkey around and find out, right?
Sure. This looks pretty good to me, but again, it is exactly up my alley.
Yeah.
This is what I love.
Unfortunately, I'm going to say a 58.
Oh, I'm going to
go
say
low
88
on this one. Okay.
All right.
Discrepancy on that one.
Next is Sinners. This is the new movie from Ryan Coogler. This is an original story about historic vampires, starring Michael B. Jordan as two different brothers.
Yeah. This had an interesting trailer for sure.
Yeah.
I like I've said, I'm a horror baby, but this one seemed really, really interesting. I think also, especially with it being more of a period piece, which is neat. So
yeah, I'll say 92.
Oh, you're going high on that one. I'm gonna go.
Coogler.
I mean, yeah,
Coogler's got
good.
it.
He's good. I'm gonna go 86.
Okay. Next, this is a movie I was not aware of. I found it when just looking up lists of upcoming movies. Steven Soderbergh has a new spy drama out called Black Bag. We're both big spy fans, so I wanted to put this on the list.
Interesting. Do we have a Which Way the Wind is Blowing? What was Soderbergh's last film, and what did that do?
Actually, he's got another movie coming out this year. We've got this case for a couple people, like due to various strikes and production delays. A director will have like 2 movies coming out in a year. He is also directing an upcoming ghost movie called Presence. This comes out in January. This is a haunted house movie from the perspective of the ghost. Like it's shot
as if you
cinematographically from the eyes of the ghost. It looks pretty cool.
Okay.
But his previous, what was his last movie before that? Kimmy? It's like the Ocean's 11 guy. He works a lot, well regarded. Steven Soderbergh.
Okay.
But we don't have a lot to go on with this. Let me read you the few things I do know about it. Black Bag. A spy drama from Steven Soderbergh. That's all IMDb has to say. Written by David Koepp, starring Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, actual James Bond Pierce Brosnan, actual Moneypenny Naomi Harris.
Nice.
Good pedigree there.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic. I'm going to go with I don't know, man. I'm going to go with an 89. No.
Okay. No.
85?
Oh, I was going to say 85. Just because there's
so I'll
there's not even an image or a sentence. That's the only reason why I'm playing it mildly safe here. Next is a Minecraft movie.
There we go. Minecraft
Here we
movie. Here we are. I'm gonna go 43 on that one. It's gonna be a kids movie where the plot is not going to make much sense. It's going to be
No.
kind of right. Critics aren't going to be like, yes, this is fantastic, right?
They're gonna love Jack Black just from that one trailer where he says, "I am Steve." I've never seen anybody put more spice on just introducing themselves. He commits. He commits
Captain
every
America.
time. But I'm gonna say 37.
Okay. All right. The Amateur.
Have you seen this trailer yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. Let me see here.
Do you know what this is?
Look it up. Not off the top of my head. It's not ringing a bell.
The Amateur is a movie starring Rami Malek where he plays, I think, somebody who works in intelligence, but as like a desk job guy. And his wife dies, and he takes it upon himself to go on a revenge mission. And he's like, "Put me in the field. I'm going to learn how to be in the field."
Put me in, coach.
And he's the Amateur. It's just him flailing around. I think there's a shot in the trailer where he sets off an explosion and he flinches. He can't do the cool guy walking away from an explosion, not looking at it thing. He can't. He's the Amateur. I don't know if this is a capital C comedy, but it looks like an absolute riot to me. I will laugh. I will laugh a lot.
From watching this trailer on mute, everything it's giving me so far is it's a drama. Like it's totally serious.
It looks like one of my beloved buffoon dramas.
Yeah. Oh, and it has the actor that played Bill Tench.
Right. We've got Holt McCallany. I think Lawrence Fishburne is in this, right? You're about to see Lawrence Fishburne, aren't you?
I don't think I've seen him yet. There was another black guy on there. I don't think that was him.
Maybe I'm thinking of an...
There's
Lawrence. Here's Larry.
He smacks him. He smacks him again.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can certainly see how this would be kind of like an action comedy or something like that. But just from John Bernthal's in this too. Like it feels more serious than it is like comedic. At least from just watching only the visuals.
Exactly.
Right? So it could go either way, I believe. So, interesting. I like the sound of that one. Looks good to me.
I think if the Beekeeper got a 71, this could beat that. So I'm gonna say 81.
That sounds about right. I'm gonna go 83.
Next is Mickey 17, the movie from Bong Joon-ho, starring several Roberts Pattinson. Our scores that we predicted last time when this was originally supposed to come out in like March of this year, you said 91 and I said 92.
Okay.
I'm going to hold to that.
I think I am.
Let's see what happens. Okay.
91.
I'll fill that in for you. 91.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oops. I think mine did it there. There we go. Okay. Thunderbolts. Asterisk. Yeah.
This looks like fun to me. To me, being somebody who's like whole hog on Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It's an odd thing. The asterisk in the title, we truly don't know what to really expect from this.
Yeah. It's one that to me has the right vibe. Like it has the vibe of something that I think is gonna be really good and maybe more critically well received. But yeah, like you said, we just don't know enough. They're keeping their cards close to their chest.
They are
on what this is exactly.
So I'm going to go with a cautious 77.
Yeah. I'm going to go right around there too. I'm going to say this is an 81. But
Mhm.
man, I am hoping this is like
Yeah.
high 80s, low 90s
Yeah.
for me.
Next is another movie I was not aware of. It's called Atlantis. This is a musical inspired by Pharrell Williams' childhood in Virginia Beach, directed by Michel Gondry.
Interesting.
This stars Brian Tyree Henry, Tim Meadows, Janelle Monáe, Davine Joy Randolph, Kinta Brunson, Halle Bailey, Missy Elliott. This
She
looks
also
interesting.
is from right there. They
Oh, cool.
grew up together. Yeah.
Oh, nice. This didn't have a poster. This didn't have a tagline.
Interesting. Yeah,
Didn't have anything.
I went to go see Piece by Piece, which is more a documentary about the life of Pharrell. It was made with all Legos, stuff like that. I had a good time, but it's also, I was not expecting it to be so much of a documentary style kind of film. So I would like to see something that is a little bit more original.
Yes.
I know this is based off of his childhood, right? So I guess it's not like an original story in that sense, like he made it up, but would like to see something that I guess is not so much a documentary from that stuff and inspired by his music.
And Michel Gondry, a visually inspired director, I believe, did Eternal Sunshine? Am I thinking of the right movie? Did he do Be Kind, Rewind?
I have no idea. I liked that.
Let me look it back up again.
Though. That was a fun one. Most Def, Jack Black, right?
Yes.
Those two? Yeah.
Let's watch that movie.
It's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Eternal Sunshine, Be Kind, Rewind. A bunch of music videos. He's a music video guy.
Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna go with a 67.
Hold on. Did he? That's not true. He didn't direct The Green Hornet. Why did he direct The Green Hornet? Why did that happen?
Who knows? Have you ever seen that one?
No. But I feel like I'd be fonder towards it than most other people.
You probably would.
Wow. Why was that him? I have to see this now. Why pick him? What am I saying for Atlantis? I'll say like 72.
Okay, Flowervale Street. You'll have to explain this one because I don't know what Flowervale Street is.
It's another thing. I just saw the name on the list, clicked on it, and thank goodness I clicked on it. This is the new movie from David Robert Mitchell, who directed Under the Silver Lake.
Okay.
A review show favorite.
Recently, yeah. That was a bonkers one.
Right. The description is a family in the 80s start to notice bizarre happenings in their neighborhood. This stars Maisie Stella, who was the girl in My Old Ass. She played young ass. It also stars Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, so I presume they're her parents.
Sure, yeah. She played the young ass. Interesting. When there's something strange in your neighborhood. Oh man.
It's set in the 80s. I'll guess an 80.
Yeah. I'll go an 84. I'll go high on that one. A little bit higher.
Right.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This is no longer the part 2.
Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Yeah. The Final Reckoning.
Wow.
Melissa, you and I both really, really enjoyed Dead Reckoning Part 1. I know a lot of people out there did not hold the same feelings. They thought it was a little long in the tooth and it was kind of all over the place.
But Dead Reckoning got a 96. Critics score 96. And it was honestly my top film of that year. I had such a good time with Dead Reckoning.
It was awesome.
And if this is going to be the final outing for Ethan Hunt, I think they're going to pull out a lot of stops. I'm going to go with 96 again.
Ooh, I was going to go with 95.
All right. Do you know what The Life of Chuck is?
I think I've seen a trailer for it. It hasn't made a big impression yet, though.
The Life of Chuck, this is another movie based on a Stephen King short story.
Okay.
It is directed by Mike Flanagan.
Okay. Yes.
This premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival earlier this year and got the coveted People's Choice Award.
Nice.
Just about every TIFF People's Choice winner from the last 15, 20 years has gone on to be a Best Picture nominee. This movie was acquired by Neon or A24 to come out next summer.
Okay.
A life-affirming, genre-bending story based on Stephen King's novella about 3 chapters in the life of an ordinary man named Charles Krantz. This stars Tom Hiddleston as the titular Chuck.
Okay.
I've heard this is good. Wow, there's a ton of people in this. This has real promise, and I think it's going to do us well. The Life of Chuck.
Yeah, I believe you when you tend to talk about like, oh, this thing was in this festival and it won this and it got all these awards and it's going to do really well. Because you tend to know that stuff or follow it more than I do. So I'm going to say this is a high one. I'm going to go with 90.
Oh, I also wrote down 90. Well, I'll go 91.
Okay.
Next is Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Our original predictions for it when it was supposed to come out earlier this June, you'd said 87 and I said 84.
Okay. I think I might lower my score to
Me
an
too.
80.
I'll say 74.
I really liked the trailer. But the trailer also did not show me anything that was different from a John Wick film. So I'm still yet to be like, okay, but what are you holding up your sleeve? Because if this is just John Wick but a woman, I'm still down. But I don't know if it's gonna have that much, like, that great of a critic's score. You know what I mean? I could see.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've been campaigning for like best stunts in the Oscars. I feel like this and Mission Impossible could be another one that they're kind of touting as like, hey, best stunts. Like, we need to get these people recognized.
Yes.
So
that might be one of my predictions this year. My special bonus predictions.
Do we know it's a category yet?
No. So it can't be a category until it has a branch in the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences. Like there's the makeup branch, the costume branch, the cinematography branch. There's not one yet for stunts, and it has to be a branch, and the branch then forms the award. So I'm going to say the Academy will form a stunts branch.
Interesting.
As a bonus prediction for this year. While we're talking about it, let me write that down. Our next movie is the new animated picture from Pixar. It is called Elio. The description for this is: a space fanatic with an active imagination and huge alien obsession Elio's all in for an epic undertaking when he's beamed up to the Communiverse, an interplanetary organization with representatives from galaxies far and wide. When Elio is mistakenly identified as Earth's leader, he must form new bonds with the eccentric alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who and where he is truly meant to be.
Cool.
Seems cute.
That sounds fantastic. Pixar always does pretty well. I don't know if I've seen much of a trailer or stuff for this yet.
I don't think there really is one. Posters have been up for a while. I think this one's been in production for a long time, had some delays. Okay. Or was postponed, but comes out this summer. Okay. I'm gonna guess a 93.
Ooh, okay.
A safe bet for a Pixar.
Yeah, I'll go an 88. I'll go on the lower side.
Okay.
Still really good, but a lower one.
This next year, we're going to have live action adaptations of Snow White and Lilo and Stitch. And the one we ended up picking because we thought we can't put all of these on the list. Let's talk about the live action How to Train Your Dragon. This is coming from one of the co-directors of the original movie. It looks like it is a direct 1-to-1.
Yeah, I've seen like the comparison shots of here's the live action versus here's the animated, and it's like the exact same. That scene where he's like lifting up the rock about to kill him. Yeah, exactly shot for shot. I mean that I've really only ever seen that first one. I think maybe I've seen the second one. Or something. I don't know.
I saw the second one.
But
they're all very well regarded. I think that's like a trilogy that people said was very solid the whole way through. People, I have very fond memories of that first one.
Yeah.
The music's incredible. When I see this trailer for the live action version, I'm just happy I get to hear that music in a theater again.
Good.
That could do a lot. You could get a couple points bump just from the music. Oh
yeah, for sure. I think that one's gonna do pretty well. And that's the thing is like I don't think they're really gonna have to change much of the story to have it do critically well, right? Unless the critics take the stance that like this is just a retread of the original.
What this might be the Mountain Dew Voodoo pink fruit candy of films, where it tastes good. But you're like, why don't I just go eat a Starburst then? Right. Maybe people will react that way. Oh, it's fine. But I could just watch the original cartoon one.
Right. But also like the quote unquote live action Lion King still did really well critically, right?
I forget.
I think we looked
this up earlier. What did I say? What did I say it was?
I think you actually said it was lower than we thought.
It was 51 critics, 88 audience.
Ooh, okay.
And did well box office wise. What did the original How to Train Your Dragon get? 99 critics.
Holy moly, okay.
It's in the rarefied air of a Paddington 2 up there.
Jesus.
Boy. Oh, man. I'm going to say...
go on the low end, I feel like I kind of want to go on the lower end.
Me too.
But the lower end of good, right? Like
right, which is what, 86?
Yeah, like an 82 or something. I'll go 82.
I'll go 84, 5. Next is 28 Years Later, the sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen these. I've watched I
actually have.
You have?
I've at least seen the first one, the 28 Days Later. Zombie stuff can sometimes be good fun.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like that first one. I don't remember the 28 Weeks Later, really. So I can't really speak to that one. I'm excited for this to come out, even if I don't go see it right away. I think this will do. It will at least do really well with the audiences.
Yes.
General audiences. I think they will enjoy it. But that's kind of the interesting thing, right? For them to make a sequel like this and be like 28 years later, I feel like they think they have something.
But it is the original director and screenwriter. It's Danny Boyle and Alex Garland coming back.
Exactly. And I
yes.
think if they're finally making a sequel to this, it's because they legitimately have something they think is good and worth it.
Yes.
So I don't know.
So what number does this all equate to? I'm going to say like 87.
That's about where I was going to go. I'll go a little lower than that, and I'll do an 86. We're kind of right there.
Yeah, we've got a run of things that seem pretty good. Not astronomical, but pretty good. We've got a lot of 80s in this year.
I'm wondering if because of COVID and a lot of productions were shutting down, as things started to spin back up, they just said yes to a lot of stuff, which is maybe why we got some of those lower ending scores from last year. And now that things have been spun up and the strike is over, we're back on track for some more. Like, okay, this is just generally pretty good.
We're also getting things that have been gestating for a long time. Like, isn't F1 one of those that they did so much practically that it just took a long time to get made?
Yeah, it's taken a while for this one to get made, but I don't know exactly how long. F1 is our next movie here, coming out June 27th. I'm super excited about this one because I've recently gotten into Formula One. The final race of the current season happened this morning. So it's the end of the season. It'll start back up again, I believe, in like February or March, something. So this will be an interesting one. Melissa, I know you just said you're excited about this. I hope that is because I have been getting excited about Formula One. And now I'm being like, Melissa, go see this so we can talk about it.
No, I love a good action movie. I love a movie that'll put me in a driver's seat I would never otherwise be in. I love something really experiential, really immersive.
Yeah.
This is directed by Joseph Kosinski, who directed Tron Legacy and Top Gun Maverick.
Great.
Top Gun Maverick did very well for itself. I'm personally a big fan of Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this at a 90.
Okay. One of my predictions was almost going to be, as excited as I am for this film, I wonder if I'm going to be let down somehow by this one. But I don't know. I think, with Top Gun Maverick doing so well and just having that, like, it's the guys, it's the boys and their toys, right? And it's just great action shot. I feel like it's really gonna lend itself to the high intensity of Formula One. I'm gonna go higher, and I'm gonna say 92.
Okay.
On that one.
Next is the horror sequel, Megan 2.0. The original... Yeah?
I think you were about to say it. Go ahead.
The original Megan, good fun.
Okay. Can I get a check on what the first one's score was? Because
let's do a Megan check.
Like, audiences had a great time with this. But I don't know how this did critically.
Audience score, 78.
Okay.
Critic score, 93.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Not what I expected. I was expecting kind of the opposite there. 93 critic score. Wow. Okay. Megan 2.0. What do I want to give this one? I'm going to give it an 89.
I'll go, I won't go quite so high. I'll go with like an 86.
Okay.
I don't know. I was shocked that it was 93. If you would have told me the first one was an 86, I'd still think, wow, way to go, Megan.
Yeah. Interesting.
Next is Jurassic World Rebirth, a movie I'm still stunned comes out this July. I don't know how this all happened to us so fast.
I don't think I've seen any of the modern day Jurassic movies.
The Jurassic Worlds,
Yeah,
they've got some stuff to them. There's some highlights. And this one directed by Gareth. This one directed by Gareth Edwards. Writers, it says Michael Crichton and David Kep. I don't remember if Michael Crichton's still alive. Maybe he's just getting a story based on characters created by Michael Crichton.
Co-writing, yeah.
This stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali.
What did we give Godzilla vs. Kong? He did that one too, right?
Okay, that's a good comp. That got a 54.
A 54. Okay. Let's see here.
I'd say 75.
Ooh,
on Jurassic World Rebirth.
I'm gonna go a 60.
Okay.
On that one. Okay. Superman. That's what we're up to next. James Gunn's not his first project in the new DC, but the first live action movie that is in this new James Gunn helmed DC universe. I have high hopes for this one.
I do too.
I think he's gonna do it.
I think so. I think he's I think he has the right amount of respect and reverence and sincerity. Frequently you will tune into a James Gunn project and it's a little sweeter or like more emotional than you would have guessed at the outset.
Yeah.
He knows how to hit you. If he wants to give you an emotional gut punch, he can. But I also wonder if this will have too much universe setting around the edges that will perhaps not do it so well critically. They're like, well, why is multiple man in this? Why'd I have to see that guy for?
Yeah.
We will be like, cool, it's that guy, and they're like, why is that guy in it? Who is he?
I think we're gonna get. I mean, we know we're going to get a lot of those cameos.
Yes.
I don't think they're gonna be like integral characters to the plot. It's just to say to show the audiences that the world is bigger than just Metropolis. Like he's not doing like a Superman origin story per se, but it is like, hey, here's the impact that this character will have an impact on this wider world at large. Let's take that first step. I'm going to go 92.
Okay. I have said 88. Now we have Superman and Fantastic Four for steps back to back. Now I have to reconcile with which between the two of these, which do I think is going to do better?
Right, yeah.
That's a tricky question.
For me, I think it's going to be Superman. And I say that because it's the one main character versus the four main characters.
Sure.
Right?
Yes. I think that's a good way to look at it. I'm going to say 89 Superman.
Cameos.
89 Superman, 88 Fantastic Four.
Okay. Dang, yeah, that's about where I was gonna put things. I'll do a. You know what? I have high hopes for this one too. I think
I do,
with
yes.
Fantastic Four kind of being the comic that started the Marvel universe, I feel like they've taken extra care of this one. So you
Yeah,
were gonna go
I do think so. Yes.
88. I was gonna go 89 then.
Okay.
One above that. I think you're spot on, like right around that one there. Um, okay. Next is Saw 11. So
We
we initially did not have this on our list. We subbed this one in right before we started recording. I have not watched any of the Saw
Me either.
movies, but I remember how big they were when they first started coming out and just how much everyone was talking about them. Stuff like that. Me, of course, being the horror baby that I am, was like, no, thank you. I don't want this. Apparently, Saw 10 was very good and well received.
Yes.
Which is kind of wild to think about, that they're now making an 11th one, and Saw 10 was one of the best ones of the series.
Yeah.
So Saw 11. What did Saw 10 get on Rotten Tomatoes? Would you mind looking that one up?
Saw X. 81%.
81. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna give it in 80.
I'll go 79.
I see.
Next is The Bride. I've seen the stylized some places with an exclamation mark, some places without. So I don't know if it's The Bride or The Bride. But this is a movie from Maggie Gyllenhaal. This is a new take on the Bride of Frankenstein story.
Cool.
This stars Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster and Jessie Buckley as the bride.
Do we know if this is it like a drama? Is it horror comedy? Is it all scary?
Let's see how it is labeled. In 1930s Chicago, that's a new setting, Frankenstein asks Dr. Euphronius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman as the bride, sparking romance, police interest, and radical social change. This seems... I don't know.
Seems kind of
Maggie
like
Gyllenhaal's previous...
almost
It seems like
comedy.
it might be in the Poor Things realm.
Okay.
Oh, it's labeled drama, horror, musical, romance, sci-fi.
Okay, so just a grab bag of everything.
Wow. Maggie Gyllenhaal directed a movie a couple years ago called The Lost Daughter, also starring Jessie Buckley. Pretty good. She's got some chops.
Okay. I don't know about that one though. I'm gonna go 65.
Let's see. I'll go 87.
Okay.
Next is Michael. And every time I scrolled past this, I thought somebody was remaking that movie where John Travolta is an angel. I keep forgetting it's the Michael Jackson biopic. The biopic of at least his younger years. I don't know how far into his life it extends.
Yeah.
But it's primarily about him coming up through the Jackson 5, his relationship with his father. This seems like such a live wire hot button of a movie, but it's coming from Anton Fuqua, a director who I think has had some success. Stars Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson.
I believe it's his cousin or something that's
like a cousin or a nephew
Michael.
playing young Michael. Yeah.
It must be a nephew. It's an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, lot of allegations that came out. I don't know what the public consciousness is for
Right, but also
Michael
like
right
this
now.
is it's also a man who did have a very troubled childhood, and I think for at least that period of his life, you're sympathetic to.
Yeah.
It's an oddity. I'm gonna 68. No idea how well this will do. This might be our wildest of wild cards this year.
I'm going to go middle of the road, 50.
Our most average film, the IF Award.
Tron Ares is next. Melissa, how are you feeling about Tron Ares?
I am very excited for Tron Ares. In this one, instead of a human going to Tron world, a Tron comes into our world and starts corrupting the world we know. And it's a horror movie, and it's got a 9 Inch Nails soundtrack, not a Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross soundtrack. They said a 9 Inch Nails soundtrack, which indicates it might go a little harder. I don't know how other people will feel, but I think I'm going to have a great time with Tron Ares.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like I'm excited, but I don't quite know what to expect. I liked Tron Legacy enough. I thought the movie itself was kind of okay, but it looked visually just incredible. Of course, we all love the soundtrack to that, the Daft Punk soundtrack to that. So I don't know. I almost kind of feel like this is another one of those things of like, I don't think they'd resurrect this IP if they didn't think they had something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Oh man. I'm gonna go high 60s. I'm gonna say a 69.
Okay, I'm gonna go 73.
Okay.
Next is The Predator: Badlands. This is the sequel to Prey, which was a story of a predator in time.
Yeah, it's like sequel non-sequel because it's not a direct. It's not like same characters or anything like that.
Right. It's just another time a predator came to American history. I want to say American history. I want to say this is set in the American West. But when I go to IMDb, it just says plot is under wraps. Only actor listed, Elle Fanning.
Yeah.
Dan Trachtenberg back to direct.
But that first one was real good. People really liked it. Do we know what the tomato score was on Prey, though?
Let's look. Rotten Tomatoes is making me disable ads. I can't click the button to get away from it. Hold on. Prey. No. I paused on this site. Didn't I pause? Get out of here.
Let's see what it got. Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, my ad blocker's not cooperating. How do I get?
So I didn't spell that right. RottenTomatoes.com. Then we want Prey from 2022. I am pulling it up. It got a 94 on the tomato meter.
People really liked it.
74 on the audience popcorn score. So Predator Badlands, yeah. I have a feeling this one's gonna do pretty good too. I'm gonna give it a 92.
Oh boy. I'll give it an 89.
Okay. Next
is Now You See Me 3. The sequel to those movies where Jesse Eisenberg does magic crimes. I've never seen them. I want to see them. I think I'd like them.
The only bits that I've seen of it was I was at I guess you could say it was a club. I'm not someone who goes out to a club, but it was one of those like it's a big bar. They have an outdoor space that you can like play giant Jenga and cornhole and stuff like that. And then they have a DJ they're playing, and they had a bunch of TVs on, and a number of them had one of the Now You See Me movies on, and I think we were there for like 2 hours or something, and I was like, man, we came in and this movie was halfway done and it's still on. I feel like they're oddly long movies, but I don't know,
Lots of
'cause I
magic
haven't
to
seen
do.
them either. I feel
Pretty
like
deep.
it'll do pretty well,
Right.
right?
Pretty deep cast in this. They added Justice Smith, Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt. You got youngins in here joining the likes of your returning Jesse Eisenberg.
Nice.
Eh,
Let's
84.
Yeah, I was gonna go 86. The Running Man. Who's starring in this one? Because this is a remake.
Glenn Powell.
Woo!
The sound everybody makes when they hear Glenn Powell's name.
Yeah.
This is a remake of that 80s movie. It's directed by Edgar Wright. It is also based on a story by Stephen King. This is his year. The futuristic United States of 2025, when the world has become a dystopia. That's all it says. But it's like a reality show where a man runs from being killed and you watch him run.
Interesting.
The stars Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, Lee Pace. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We're eating good in this neighborhood.
More Lee Pace. It's
Josh Brolin, William H. Macy, Michael Cera.
Can actually, I'll look it up here. What did the original Running Man get?
Wow. Okay, so Glenn Powell's playing a character named Ben Richards. We also have Josh Brolin as ruthless producer, Katie O'Brien as contestant, and Lee Pace as chief hunter. So maybe this is a movie where nobody gets a name. It's a reverse Tenet where only the main character gets a real name and everybody else is a title.
Yeah. So the original The Running Man, which released November 13th, 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, according to Rotten Tomatoes, got a 67 on the tomato meter, a 61 on the popcorn meter.
Kyle, look up the movie Hitman.
Hitman. Which Hitman?
The one from this year that also starred Glenn Powell.
Hit Space Man. Not the one based on the video game. That got a 95 with a popcorn score of 92. People love it.
I think that's a comp. Looking at movies from the last year, Twisters had a 75. The Fall Guy had an 81. This looks like it could be in that range. 95. Let's say for Running Man. Oh, I've handed out a lot of. I'm going to say 88. 88 for the Running Man. He runs in 2 infinite loops.
You know what? I'm going to go a little high. I'm going to say 94.
Is that what's your highest to date?
I think that might be my highest. No, 95 for Mission Impossible.
I mean, if Mission Impossible can do it, the Running Man can too. What is Ethan Hunt if not a running man?
The Running Man himself, yeah.
Oh, man. Next, Wicked Part 2. What is Wicked currently sitting at?
It's like an 80 something, right?
Please tell me.
Let's see. Wicked. CK. Oh, no, Wicked.
Oh, Wicked is sitting at an 89, 96 audience.
Yeah. Ooh, I guess it depends on what your favorite song is in that play, right?
Yeah.
What your favorite part of this? So if first one got an 89, I think I'm gonna go slightly lower, and I'm gonna say 86.
Okay, I'll go. How big of a drop off are we gonna see? I'm gonna say 85.
I know people are really excited about more of the guy that's in the film. I don't remember his name, but the love interest. They're more.
Oh, the Prince.
Yeah, they're excited to see more of him and his songs, stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it's going to culminate in some pretty awesome stuff, but I don't know. I feel like that Defying Gravity song is just so impactful, right? That that might be the thing that bumped it up a little higher. Okay, we got 2 last movies to talk about here.
Zootopia 2.
The first one, I think, did pretty good critically, right? Zootopia.
Yes, it's in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, a 98. Okay.
I'm gonna say 91.
You know what? I might match it for my highest. I'm going to go 95.
Wow. Okay. And finally, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Not called Six Nights at Freddy's.
Another
it
night
is
at
the cumbersome title of Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yeah, NIGHT. Come on. Five Nights at Freddy's. What did this first one get on the tomato meter? It got a 32 on the tomato meter.
86, I think, for audience.
Yes, it is a huge hit with the like younger audience, even though it's a horror.
Right. Well, and I think it was heralded for being a very good example of a gateway horror. Like I heard from adults who saw it who said, I don't think it's that effective, but that's extremely valuable for a younger viewer.
Sure.
It'll have a good place in history.
Yeah. And I don't know much about like the stories of the video games and how that story
the lore is deep.
Progresses. Yeah. But I know it has like a big internet following. So yeah, I expect the popcorn meter to be fairly high. I don't expect the critic score to be high.
I think it could be better. Let's say
I'm gonna go with a 37.
37. I think I'm gonna say 48.
Okay. There we go.
And those are our predictions. Now, there's a couple other things that didn't make the list because they're not known enough yet. Paul Thomas Anderson, one of my favorite directors, has a new movie coming out next year, but it doesn't have a title. I think this stuff will be in the second half. This is coming out around Christmas, so it wouldn't count anyway. But there's a new Jordan Peele. There's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Right, yeah.
I want to highlight 3 little movies I stumbled across that didn't make the list, but I still want to tell you about them.
Please do.
There's a horror movie called Clown in a Cornfield.
Okay.
A fading Midwestern town in which Friendo the clown, a symbol of bygone success, reemerges as a terrifying scourge. This stars Kevin Durand and Will Sasso.
Interesting.
Another horror movie simply called Him. A promising young football player joins an isolated compound to train under a dynasty team's aging quarterback. And it's a horror film. I can't name another sports horror film. Unless it's more of a psychological thriller like Swim Fan. A Spore, yeah. Not many.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I can name a
Intrigued?
sports horror either.
Unless you count The Running Man as a sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends on your definition of sport.
You could do
The
like
Most Dangerous Game is a sport.
Death Race,
Yeah.
something like that, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
And this is a very Kyle movie. It's called Roof Man.
Roof Man.
The story of the rooftop robber, Jeffrey Manchester, and his time on the lam evading capture.
Okay.
This stars Channing Tatum as Roof Man, along with Juno Temple, Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage, Ben Mendelsohn, Lakeith Stanfield, and Tony Revolori.
Okay. Interesting cast.
Right. Maybe this is based on a true story. I don't know. It seems like a very interesting little crime drama. Keep an eye out for Roof Man.
Roof Man.
Is he on your roof? Watch out.
Interesting. Okay. Thanks for putting that one on my radar there.
I'll tell you about more as I hear about them. Good. Looks like a good year for film.
Cool.
After the strike year and then this year as a rebuilder, next year looks promising.
Good indeed. Melissa, we have some predictions to go through. This is like the second part of what we like to do here for our Rotten Tomatoes movie predictions. You kind of already mentioned one of yours. Excuse me. I'm about to cough and die. Okay.
One prediction that you have made previously that we're carrying over, should you choose to carry it over, is that Mickey 17 will be nominated for Best Picture. I'm keeping that on our list. We won't know that in the scope of this game. We won't know that until January 2026, but here it is.
Oh, well then.
On the record.
Then, yeah. Maybe don't want that one then if we're not going to find out.
No, but like
Whenever.
it's still here. It's still here. It's still eligible. It just will be eligible at a later date.
But we won't we're not going to come back to this prediction in 2026.
We will not.
And right. So if that's the case, then might want to take that off then.
Shelve it.
Yeah.
Come up with something new.
Mickey 17. What can I make another prediction about Mickey 17? Now that
How
I
many
have
Mickeys
seen
we'll
the trailer?
see?
Ooh,
Number
yeah.
of Mickeys?
What's the highest
What's
number
the highest
Mickey?
The final Mickey.
Mickey 17. Let's see here. Highest number Mickey. EY. KEY MOUSE. We will see is above above 70.
Wow, that's so many Mickeys.
Because even in the trailer, they're like, and introducing, and they do like Mickey number 1, Mickey number 5, Mickey 17, Mickey 22. So I know we're getting different ones of them. I just don't know how many we're gonna see. I really feel like we'll get some ridiculous and here's Mickey 118, right?
Wow. I look forward to it.
Okay. Yeah. That's my my first prediction is that Mickey 17, the highest number Mickey we will see is some number above 70.
Okay.
Do you want me to just go down my list here of the predictions?
Yeah, then I'll go through mine.
So far? Okay, cool. I noticed there's a lot of movies that either star animals or have an animal in their title. And I'm stretching that a little bit. I'm including Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, right?
But you left off Craven the Hunter. The
Yes.
list you decided on was Mufasa, Sonic the Hedgehog, Wolfman, Paddington, The Monkey, a movie about a toy monkey that I don't believe has a real monkey. You wrote down Train Dragon.
I'm not gonna write the How to Train Your Dragon live action.
No, of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. But I like that dragon wasn't enough. You wrote Train Dragon, which to me is a new and separate creature. Jurassic World Rebirth and Zootopia.
Yes.
That's your list of animal films.
I purposely left Craven the Hunter off because even though animals are in the movie, 28 years later might have animals in the movie. Craven is about a man. It is about, and it sounds like he's being hunted, right? It's not about his pet lion that he then wears around his shoulders. So yeah, the ones that either have an animal listed in their title or like the main characters are animals. But yeah, so my prediction is that the collective score of these movies will be over 650. Now, I'll add up what I've predicted them to be in a sec here while you're saying all of yours. But I think that'll be interesting to see what my total prediction has been versus what the actual score is too. So has to be a score over 650. I think that was an average score of like around 80. Yeah. Ish. I think 640 was what we got for that, but then I was like, you just bump it up to 650.
Yeah, you imagined 80 for each of those movies and then you bumped it up to the next 50 mark. So that's how you got that number.
Yes, yeah. My third prediction is for F1. I believe that Lewis Hamilton, who has been a driver for Mercedes for the past, 12 years. He's an 8-time world champion. He is moving to Ferrari for this next season. But he's kind of an anomaly in the Formula One world. He is the second oldest driver that was currently on the grid. I believe he's like 38. And
ancient, decrepit,
right? Well, they need those like really fast reflexes that younger people tend to have, right? But I believe that he will have speaking lines in 3 or more scenes in F1.
So it's not the number of lines he has at once. So first off, you're predicting he will talk and he will be in 3 or more scenes.
Well, I know he'll be in a lot of this because one of the things they did to film this is during last season they had like an extra paddock where like this fake fictional team for the movie would be. So during the races, you get like these other cars coming in for their pit stops during actual legitimate races, and stuff like that. So they're splicing in real footage of that stuff. So we know some of these drivers will at the very least show up in the background here and stuff like that. And I think with Lewis Hamilton being an 8-time world champion, with him being he really likes fashion. He's been at the Met Gala for the past couple years in incredible outfits and stuff like that. I think they would give him a speaking line or 2. I'm hoping it's 3 or more. Yeah. And to be clear, 3 or more scenes.
Right. So if he shows up once and says 3 sentences, that doesn't count.
That counts as 1. Yeah.
Okay.
And so then it has
But
to be like
that
a
alone
different
will not win this bet. Okay.
scene, right? Yeah, where he says something else. It can be a single word, it can be a single sentence, but
He
just
can't
now,
have a
new
cameo. He has
scene.
to be a supporting player consistently throughout the film.
Yeah, supporting player makes it sound like he's one of the like actors in. I don't think he is like a quote unquote actor in this, but I think we will see him. I think he will say something. I'm hoping that happens at 3 separate times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you wrote down average Marvel score will be less than Superman's, were you talking only about Fantastic Four and Captain America, or were you also including Kraven?
I was also including Craven in
All right.
that. I'm taking every single Marvel movie that comes out,
Okay.
whether it's Marvel Studios or Sony.
I wrote that down for our future reference. Good.
Perfect.
That makes sense now that you said Kraven is included. He could really drag that down.
Yeah. I think the average score of all those Marvel movies, add them up and divide them by 3, will be less than whatever the score that Superman gets. This is my Marvel versus DC.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a pretty simple one there. And then we have a joint one here, a joint bet where we are taking opposite sides.
Yes. Less due to our own personal feelings, more due to making this interesting.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts asterisk. You have been assigned that we will not know what the asterisk means until in the movie itself. I am on the betting side of we will know what it means in a trailer. I wrote down Super Bowl trailer, but I'm just going to say any trailer.
Okay.
You get movie reveal, I get trailer reveal.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be an interesting one. We don't know what that asterisk means for the Thunderbolts.
My other predictions, every year I have been predicting a needle drop of the year. This year I'm going to try something different and just name a band. If any songs from this band are included next year instead of doing one specific song. Because I still feel like that's enough of a shot in the dark that it may not make this any likelier. But I wanted to try something different. My guess is Electric Light Orchestra. Okay. If any song from the band Electric Light Orchestra appears in any film next year, I get a point.
Now, how do you look this up? Because obviously we go to a lot.
I just see like 80 movies a year, and then I see if it's in there. I don't Google it.
Interesting.
I guess that in the film Companion, Sophie Thatcher's character is a robot.
Okay. Sophie Thatcher is the companion in that, the quote unquote
I believe
companion.
I believe so. I believe she's some sort of a sex bot. That's what I think is happening in that movie. We'll see. I guess that in the horror movie The Monkey, there will be at least 10 kills.
Oh, all right. At least 10 kills. Okay, that's a good one. Good prediction there.
I guess that in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Ilsa Faust is alive. They faked her death in Dead Reckoning.
Okay.
So I'm saying she is alive. I'm not saying like
in like good condition.
Well, I mean like if there's a scene where Ethan Hunt passes out and is near death and he sees Ilsa, that doesn't count. Right. No, she has to literally walk out and be alive. I guess that in Megan 2.0, Megan gets a mate. And since we've got a movie coming out this year about the Bride of Frankenstein. Right. There was the Bride of Chucky. There's been a Bride of Dracula. Horror has a lot of brides. I can't name a husband. It's True. Rare. It is rare for there to be, first of all, a big female villain like Megan, And I think it would be not to say like she has to get married. I don't want to reduce her to that. But for the novelty of it, I think it'd be fun if it's Megan 3, husband of Megan. Mr. Megan. And then a meta guess outside of the content or scores of films. Next year, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will form a stunts branch.
Yeah, I think that's a great prediction. I know they've been vying for that.
And I don't know everything that goes into making it and why it hasn't happened already. I know there must be some sort of a process. It might not be as easy as we all think it is. But by next December, I hope it'll happen.
Yeah, they've been campaigning. So hopefully that does happen, especially with Mission Impossible 8. To be honest, that is, I don't want to say if it happens that they'll just give it to Mission Impossible, but I feel like that's one of the honorary, guys, it's Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible here.
I think the honor will be that whenever the very first Best Stunts award is handed out, Cruise presents it.
Yeah.
He's the one out there with the envelope. I think that will be how they honor this series.
Especially if they don't get it for this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that or like it'd be like him and John Wick, right? Presenting their things, and it's them in character. They do some stunt to like.
It's not Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves. It is Ethan Hunt and John Wick.
It's Ethan Hunt and John Wick. Yeah. Presenting the award.
I don't know if we've had that before. I think there have been times when an animated character has presented an award, but never a live action actor in character. I'd have to double check. I don't know for sure.
Suit thing and just be like,
he's just flipping a coin around. Tom sends on a wire.
He runs on stage. Oh man, good stuff. Yeah. Well, there you go. Those are our predictions for this year. I think these are good set of predictions.
Yeah.
This is always a blast to kind of come up with this and then see how we do at the end of the year, end of next year.
This past year had wild swings, big ups, big downs. Next year seems like it could be a little bit more consistent and a little bit more promising.
Yeah, indeed. Well, yeah, I believe that then wraps us up for the year. This was the final episode of the Captain's Log for the year, the final regular episode. So next time we see everyone, it'll be 2025. That being said, we will have our end of the year Grand Prix, as we like to call it, kind of the end of the year celebration. Fun will be had, pizza will be ate, alcohol will be consumed, awards will be given out to some of the things that we covered over on the review show. We might play different games here and there. I don't know. We'll see. It's always a blast to see what we come up with that. That will be happening real soon. We don't have our recording date.
We're going to pin it down.
But yes, we will get that. So be on the lookout for that. That will be out on all of our podcast feeds, no matter what show you listen to. So yeah, I believe that is it for this year. The Captain's Log. Melissa, where can the people contact you over the break?
You can email me. Let's have a conversation about some movies. Tell me what trailers you keep seeing over and over again, which ones you are still elusively chasing. Write to me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com.
There you go. And if you guys want to follow me, I'm at Yo Kyle Springer. And if you would like to follow all the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts official on Threads, and we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. Check out some more of our videos right over there on that side of the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, that would also help us out a bunch. And yeah, this has been number 286 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next year. Bye.
Bye.